Kin gathered close now by this hearth fire, feel the chill wind slip through the cracks. What if the young weaver, hands steady on her loom, turns from the tender seed quickening in her belly, flinging it to the river's rush for tales of distant looms?
See her there in the dim workshop light, threads humming under her fingers, the small warmth stirring within ignored as she packs her spindle for paths beyond the boundary stones.
Already the household circle thins, one pair of hands chasing shadows while the elder's eyes linger on the empty place.
Out to the fields she strides next dawn, basket light on her arm, leaving the heavy hoe for her sister, whose belly swells with sure root, who swings the blade when the young chasewind voices, the sister calls, sweat beading on her brow amid the turned soil's rich scent. But the weaver waves it off, eyes fixed on merchant trails where finer wool fetches storehouse grain.
Seasons wheel, the sister's patch blooms with sturdy shoots, voices piping from her hearth shadows, while the weaver's returns grow sparse, her packs heavy with dyed cloth but light on shared labor.
The fence sags untended, foxes sniff at the hen scraps, and a quiet falls where laughter once rose with the milking.
Deeper into forest paths she ventures, spindle whirring songs of far rivers, trading weaves for iron tools that gleam unused back home.
Her kin wait at the riverbank crossing, nets idle in shallow water, asking what holds the line when one hand pulls away. She brings bright beads for the young ones, but they tumble from small fingers untaught in mending, and the elders' stories falter, voices thinning like smoke from a banked fire.
Years stack like cordwood, her sister's circle swells, children hauling water, learning the loom's steady pull, their hands mirroring the old rhythms.
The weaver's workshop echoes empty now, her body like parched earth that grips no seed, seasons passing with baskets returned barren.
Back at the council circle under oak shade, she watches her sister's brood chase through grass, tiny feet printing the paths their mothers wore deep. What weaves the cloth if no new hands learn the shuttle? An elder murmurs, fire pits cold where feasts once warmed the line.
The weaver's fingers, skilled in distant patterns, falter on familiar thread. She cradles a niece's woven reed basket, feels its warmth seep into her lap, the child's clear eyes asking why auntie's hearth holds only ash.
Nights lengthen, her packs cease entirely, body yielding nothing to the household store, while kin networks strain fences down, tools blunt from lone use, songs half sung by tiring throats.
Years braid into winter's deep, snow muffling the pastures where once the young weaver dreamed.
Her sister's fields stand firm, guarded by small hands that know each stone's place, each stream's bend.
But the weaver sits alone by her dim hearth, spindle still, the air thick with unsaid labors. Who tends the fire when the circle breaks? Echoes from that first dawn, unanswered till now.
Hear this, kin by the flame. If the young turn from the seed's call to chase lone paths, households fracture like dry clay under frost.
Elders sit with tails locked in silent chests. Children inherit baskets empty of skill. Tools gather rust in shadowed corners. Land slips back to wild bramble, forgetting careful hands.
Fires go cold across the line. Voices fade from the working songs, and the kin web unravels thread by thread.
Turn now to the shared hoe, the rooted warmth, lest your hearths echo forever with the wind's hollow rush.
Kin by the steady flame's reach, if the old voices quicken a pulse in your core like spring rain on parched ground, bear that quickening into the open meadows and streamside gatherings. Let it shape your speech into rhythms for the restless and the rooted. Let your footfalls deliver it to far-flung doorways where palms meet in common toil.
Every murmur you release mends the worn strands of remembrance, sustaining the deep taproots that link harvest to harvest through the wheel of days.
Blend your timbre into the gathering's murmur, delving not merely the soul's hidden folds, but the intertwined destinies of soil and blood we call our bond.
Carve your tokens on lintels and waystone etchings, in yarns spun by twilight glow or furrows drawn in the clay, and retrace the ancient trails to the fountains of insight.
Hold fast in this nurturing, And the sire's blaze persists, flowing undimmed through the grasp that keeps it steadfast.